recording.
It was a graveyard smash.
We're gonna give people a couple minutes to join and then get stuff started. Probably what, like 8:04?
Yeah, something like that. How's everyone doing this evening? You guys feel free to share your video and your audio if you would like. Especially if you're costumed.
Anyone dressed up?
It might just be us, who knows?
I mean,
so I guess we'll win our own game. Costume. Hello, hello.
hi.
Hey, if anyone, if you can't chat or you can't, if audio is not your thing, would y'all put in the chat where are we playing from tonight? That's not it. You, where was that? I'm gonna turn off the Monster Mash. Can you say that one more time? I apologize.
We are in Falls Church, Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Very cool.
Falls Church, Virginia. Very cool. And we got a Cincinnati in the house. Nice.
Oh,
And-
is this being done?
Yep.
And Cape May, New Jersey. Oh, and Zelinda is from Northern Virginia as well. Where in Northern Virginia?
Yep.
And we got somebody from Philly, a town so nice they named it twice. I think is how that goes.
Hey.
Fairfax. Okay, cool. And hey, while we got you guys, before we start, I think you probably got my zillion emails about the little snafu we had with the order of the wines. If anyone would like to sound off on us right now, that's also appropriate. But we really apologize for that. If you didn't hear, some of them came in an incorrect order. So the golden top here is actually wine number 1. This kind of, I guess, is closer to Burgundy, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Burgundy top is number 2. Burgundy when it fit up here. Both black tops are red wines, and the one with writing on it is number 3, and the one without writing is number 4. Are we all on the same page for that?
Yep, sounds good. Thank you.
Cool.
Cool. And we'll remind you guys, but hopefully, like if you, for whatever reason, if things are out of order, you can always, put some ice cubes in your drink. Yeah, in your drink if you weren't able to get the whites cold. But hopefully the emails made it in time so everyone was able to kind of like rearrange if you needed to.
Throw those ice cubes in. It is a judgment-free zone here.
I do it sometimes.
We do it all the time. She makes slushies. By the way, she's 100% that witch is the name of her costume.
This is my costume, witch hat.
And I am Lord Bacchus, Lord of Wine is what I was going for. Or Noble Rot is the other one I was maybe thinking. Did anyone else come in costume by chance? That's cool. That's cool. There's still time. Take a bathroom break and find a pair of bunny ears and you'll win yourself. Oh, is that somebody? Somebody just came in.
They have a dog.
Doesn't look.
I don't. Yeah. Maybe he's the irrational consumer from The Office, perhaps. We are just trying to fix the audio. Okay, I got it. Can you guys hear us? Okay. Do we sound okay? All right. Good deal. So it is 8:04 p.m. Some people might filter in a bit, but we're going to go ahead and get going.
See the
what we got
dog
there?
with the Minnie Mouse ears.
Oh, no.
Cute.
We may have a
I think
winner.
that might be a winner. Really cute.
Your dog might have just won a Sommify board game.
Oh, yeah!
We will announce that at the end, but that's pretty, oh, there's another pup that kind of looks similar from David Moore. Oh,
Hey, sorry, my light is
Yeah, you guys are up on our TV up here, but this is our Australian Shepherd, Wendy, and
Did
she's
la-
a Stegosaurus, but you can't really see. Oh, maybe there's.
Oh, that's really cute.
Oh, we're about to have a pup off over here. I like it.
He's a.
So here's our cat that is the size of a puppy. She doesn't like that one bit. And then we have a pup in the other room that hopefully won't bark too much during this. So thank you for dressing up
Super cute.
your pup. It was very, very nice. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing going. So welcome to Beat the Somm, a virtual blind tasting game where we will declare a victor tonight for all of your Instagram friends to be jealous of the coveted crown of Bacchus, as we call it. And then also we, as we mentioned before, the best costume. And like I said, y'all take a bathroom break and go throw a costume on because we'll be judging that towards the end. Somebody will get a game. One thing that's a big pet peeve of both of ours is if you're at a tasting and you're waiting around for like a presentation and someone's getting really long-winded and you're like, well, can I drink yet? Can I have a drink? Go ahead and start drinking as long as you leave enough to evaluate wine number one. But go ahead and take a little sipperoo of that if you would like.
Yeah, we have ours going. So go ahead and start drinking.
And on that note, cheers. I'm gonna.
Cheers.
My regal voice will be coming out from time to time.
Yeah, well, thank you guys again for joining us. We're really excited. This is not our first virtual event, but our first event with wines sold out. So we're really excited. We're going to tell you guys a little bit about us. So my name is Jessica, my husband Connor. We both live in Atlanta and we both work in the wine industry. So I have about 6 years of industry experience working for a wine distributor. So I'm a sales rep. I call mainly on restaurants in Atlanta, a couple wine shops, but my job is to get new wines onto restaurant lists. And so that's kind of where my background is. I'll let Connor talk about him.
Yeah, and so my name's Connor. I have been with United Distributors for several years, maybe 13 or 14 years in Atlanta. And I always call myself jokingly trash palate. I've always loved wine, but I never never considered myself a good taster. So about 3 years ago, I had my CSW, but I decided I want to get serious and try to pass the Somm exam and WSET 3. And both of those tests are A, really hard. That's not a humble brag. I think they're pretty tough. And B, they both have some blind tasting components. And the traditional way you study for these tests is you get together in tasting groups around town and, blind taste once a week or whatnot. But I was a little intimidated by that format. Not a cool guy. So I just felt stuffy to me. So I decided, and we decided, hey, let's put this in a game night format and try to learn it with our friends as a game. So we started prototyping. That's a kind of little montage of us prototyping in 2019 in Atlanta. And we would meet every Wednesday and try to come up with a board game. This is the first iteration right here, that monstrosity you see on your screen. It was very complicated. It was hard to play, but we were drinking wine, so that was cool. That was what got us through the first few prototypes. Then somehow they got worse. I don't know what was going on with that board. Even more complicated.
Connor was literally like printing out pieces of computer paper and we were taping them together, and that was our board.
Mounting them on cardboard. It was a hot mess, right? Once again, not much better right here. This one, which we call embarrassingly recent, is the exact same format of our board game now, but it's with my design. And then finally, our brother-in-law, who's an actual designer, was like, nope, no more. I'm intervening. And so he created our board game, which we hope is really fun. It's what we do on game night. But in the meantime, and what we're going to be doing this evening is playing Beat the Somm. And I'll tell y'all this, so while we were prototyping the board game, I still wanted to play with the wine community in Atlanta. So we kind of did just a modified version of our tasting method and our game to not have a board, obviously, right? So I would go around and blind taste the Somms, and Jess did too, because we're both in the wine industry. And we had a nice little scoring thing you could do. So it's a lot less involved. And then we would have a winner every week of, like 4 or 5 different wine professionals kind of going against each other. So that was really fun. So you want to tell them what we need tonight?
Yeah, so tonight we're going to be playing a modified version of our board game. So we're going to be using some of the game materials and the same method of blind tasting as we do in our actual board game. But just so everyone is on the same page, this is everything that you need. Obviously, you need the 4 wines. Have them ready. Go ahead and open them. Don't look, because they're, you need to keep them in the bags and keep them hidden. But go ahead and open them up if you haven't. Make sure you have a clear wine glass. We have some at home that are like Halloween themed and have colors on them. So make sure it's clear, because you're going to need to look at the site and the color of the wine in the glass. If you want, grab a pen or pencil. I kind of like to make notes on this is the wine key, which you guys should all have. I like to make notes and mark things off. And then obviously the wine key that we sent to you guys, that's going to be your guide and help you, end up determining what you think the wine in your glass is.
So far, so good. Thumbs up.
And feel free, we're checking the chat, or if you guys have any questions, or unmute yourself and ask away. So.
Okay, so here is what's going down. If you don't, if you've never blind tasted before, that's great. That's fantastic, because don't worry about that right now. We're going to get into it in a minute. I'm going to tell you some kind of base rules, right? So we're going to evaluate the wine using the Sommify wine key and method. The 3 things we're trying to guess tonight, all right, are the grape, the country, and whether it's from the old or new world. And old world basically means Europe. We'll get into that a little bit more later. All the grapes here are on the end of the key. We'll show you in a second. So those are the grapes, the country, and whether it's from Europe, basically, or not. And then each of these categories are going to be worth 25 points. And we're going to log our guesses in the Sommify Beat the Somm web app. And so there'll be a little leaderboard. You can see how you did. And that's how we will determine the winner. So Jess, you want to give them a rundown of the key?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we use this in our game. This is kind of play on words, our wine key. So you can see there's a side for white wine and a side for red wine. So I'm just going to start with white wine. So everything you need to know is going to be on this key in terms of making your guess. So the first thing, if you guys look on the far right under column number 5, I don't know if you can really see, but under grape. So those are the only grapes that can be in your glass for the white wines. I think, what do we have? 11 grapes. So it's not going to be some random white wine from Croatia or some, these are classic examples that are used on the level 2 Somm exam. So it's going to be one of these grapes, and then everything correlates horizontally. So as we walk you through, I'm just going to use Pinot Grigio, the first one, as an example. Say you get done evaluating, you think it's straw, moderate plus, neutral. So that could either be Pinot Grigio or Albarino. Everything correlates horizontally. So if you think it's Pinot Grigio, the only country can be Italy. It's all on the same line. And then Albarino would be Spain. And if you go down, you'll see Sauvignon Blanc can come from multiple countries, France, California, New Zealand, but it can only be those 3 countries. Everything is on the same line. And then we also have, because I gave you the example of Pinot Grigio and Albarino having the same calls, we have a little grape emoji guide that'll kind of help you determine further which grape it could be. There's not a ton of similar or exact same calls on the grid, but there are a few grapes that have the same calls. So this further helps you determine what the wine could be.
We're millennials, so we need emojis to express ourselves. And so but this helps kind of break it down a little bit. Any questions thus far?
Does that all make sense? And the same goes for you flip it over to the red side. The first grape's Gamay all the way down to Cabernet Sauvignon, and it goes the same way. So if you think it's Gamay, then it's going to be from France on that first line. So if you guys have any questions about that, luckily when you start to enter your answers in the app, it'll automatically make the deduction for you. So if you hit the grape Gamay, the only country you can pick is France. So it'll kind of, it'll make the process of elimination for you.
It'll narrow it down. Holy moly, Jess. Hold on, I gotta stop us real quick. I'm noticing some more costumes. I see some.
Oh yeah, I wanted to mention.
I see some, are those, oh, there's some bad ears.
Wow.
Lindsay Patterson's computer. And then Joy, is that what are these zany hats? What's going on over here? Is that a musketeer?
Looks like pirate.
We got a pirate
hats.
here, and this is a sorting hat.
What else would you wear to a wine tasting but a sorting hat?
I
Yes.
like that.
I love it.
Darth Vader behind us.
You know what's a pirate's favorite wine?
No.
Chardonnay.
Ah.
Okay, I'll see myself out. Jessica will be
I hope you take
posting
that.
the rest. By the way, if I look beet red, it's because his robe is very warm, and so I didn't realize it was going to be so warm. Anyway, y'all,
Cool, I'm glad you guys dressed up.
thank you for dressing up. Please feel free to unmute. I love it when I have to do these. I do Zoom things all the time for work. 'Cause I'm the education guy for the distributor, and I just mandate that everyone unmute. I'm not going to do that tonight, but we love it when we can all have an open conversation about wine. And David asks, oh yeah, so 2 great questions in the chat. So Linda asks, are we going to show the emoji chart? Yes, every wine will show it again. It'll be on the screen. And the app, what I'm gonna do is put up a QR code. We're gonna go through wine number 1.
We're gonna share that with you guys pretty shortly. We want to wait to do that because with like if you're texting and stuff, and if we gave it to you first, like you might go off the page. And
yeah,
so
let's just
wanted to
learn.
give it to you. We'll share that as soon as we go through the first white wine and have you guys all log in.
Sound good? Can I get jazz hands? Okay, cool. Just like hurry it up. All right, so once again, to the highest score, giveth the crown, and best costume wins a copy of our blind wine tasting board game, Sommify. So let's get into wine number 1, mystery wine numero uno. Everyone, just let me know. Give me spirit fingers when you have it poured and are ready to go. And I need a touch more because Daddy is thirsty. Old Bacchus is thirsty tonight. It's been a long week already. Okie dokie, we all ready? So this is how we evaluate white wine, the Sommify method. Step 1 is sight. We use both sight for both red and white wines, but for white wines, what we're going to be doing here is pull out your wine key, and I know there's only one, so you might have to pass it around. And anyway, what we're going to do here is hold your wine at a 45-degree angle over this yellow bar here, because it's not a bad print job. It's supposed to, in theory, go from straw color to yellow to gold. And that'll be blind tastings, all about narrowing things down and deductively cutting things in half is the Sommify method, right? Trying to cut things in half to narrow it down. So once you think you've got, oh, here comes another. Is that Alf? Oh, no.
Quick question.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I know there was an email sent out that the numbers sort of got twisted up a little bit.
Yes. Oh, and sorry, Mike. We had it at the beginning.
Yeah, I came in a little late.
No, yeah, no worries. So wine number 1 is the gold top, and there are no other gold tops. And once again, we apologize for the.
Yeah, it's our first time working with wines who sold out. We love them, and this is working out a few kinks for this first event. But if you need to, we mentioned earlier, if it's not cold, if just throw a couple ice cubes in it.
Cube it up.
Because you do want it to be a little. For the white wines, you do want them to be cold. So throw a couple ice cubes in if you need to, and then if you And then also, just while we're talking about it,
The red top, kind of burgundy colored top,
This
is also
red-
white wine.
this is going to be wine number 2 with the red top. So if you don't have this one cold yet, maybe throw it in the freezer and get it cold while we go over the first one. And then the other 2 are going to be the red ones, the ones with the
2 black tops.
The 2 black tops, and we'll go over that again.
The one with writing, gold writing is number 3.
Didn't the bags get mixed up too? Like the
Yeah.
number of bags got mixed up, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Wines Still Sold Out though are that company is fantastic. These wines we'll show you'll find out tonight. They're all really good. And I don't know. I was really surprised.
Yeah, so we apologize about that. There's a little bit of communication error, but going forward, when we do these again, everything should be, packaged correctly. So
Okay, so the first one we're doing is that bag number 3.
Well, just go by the top, the only one with a gold top.
Okay.
yeah, everyone got a little bit of something different in the order. So as long as you have the wine with the gold foil, then right now, then you're good to go.
Got it.
And the good thing is, if it's not cold, that's good because white wines will open up more when they're a little bit warmer. See how the spin team does it over here? All right. Any questions before we keep going with wine number 1? Okay. And Alf, you'll have to like grunt for us because I can't see your facial expressions. All right, cool. So we just did appearance, straw, yellow, or gold. Next, we're going to move to acidity. Acidity is one of the most useful tricks for determining or really narrowing down wines, right? So what we're going to do is take a big sip of your wine and really make sure the wine gets underneath your tongue and around your tongue, and pay attention to the amount of mouth watering, how much you salivate for each wine, right? So more mouth watering means more acid. So for instance, if you were to lick a lemon, if you just found a lemon and licked it, that's like pure citric acid. Your mouth would water a ton. And that happens too with higher acid grapes and higher acid wines. So that's one of the tricks. And what you'll start to notice is you'll calibrate your palate a bit. So once you start paying attention to acid, you'll say, oh, this one's really highly acidic, or this one not so much acid at all. But it's one of those Somm tricks. So let's go take a big sip of this and see, and we'll try to figure out whether we think it's high, moderate plus, moderate minus.
And it is, it could be a little tough to determine, but like acidic wines have like this, like kind of, they're like, especially for white wines, they're going to be like citrusy and like, like tart and kind of, like it'll hit you, you'll notice that.
Yeah. And that's what makes them thirst quenching. Usually higher acid wines you would drink maybe on a warm day because it gives you that it's thirst quenching almost. It feels that way. Oh, sorry, that was acid. Okay, any questions there? Then let's move on to aromatic intensity. This one I love. So put your nose up about around yonder. Take the guy out of Georgia. I can't take the Georgia out of the guy. And what we're trying to figure out here is, do the fruit aromas, the primary fruit aromas, jump out of the glass? If they do, we call that aromatically pronounced. If it's a little less than that, we would call that neutral, right? And when I say fruit aromas, I'm not talking about oak or other things that happen at the winery. We're talking about just the grape flavors and aromas. So big fruit in your face. Do they jump out? We would call that pronounced versus maybe not so much neutral. So far, so good. And then the last one, which we do for red wines as well, is New World versus Old World, right? And so the Old World is Europe, right? And New World is everywhere else in wine terms. And I'll start with New World. New World wines tend to be in warmer climates in general. And so the fruit is riper, and so they tend to be fruitier. So you can kind of ask yourself, we say, who's driving the bus? Is the first thing you notice fruit up front and then other things? Or for instance, like old world wines, the fruit might be secondary. You might notice something else, minerality for white wines, earthiness for red wines, just something else going on. And New World wines tend to have a little bit more alcohol because, once again, they tend to be from warmer climates, whereas Old World wines might have a little more acidity. Does that make sense? It's all a little subjective because, there are some New World wine producers that try to make it an Old World style and vice versa. So one of the harder things with this game is trying to gamify wine, because every winemaker can kind of make it however they want, but you try to find classic examples, because once you learn the kind of fundamentals, it can help you just, I don't know, look at wine a different way. Once you know the rules and you can break them, right? Okay, so have you guys narrowed it down? All right, is that Joy with a thumbs up? Are you about to Babe Ruth this call?
Yes, I'm Anna. Joy's in the hat.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I love it.
But I figured thumbs up is a good affirmation for you all.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Okay.
I could do that throughout my whole life, just like.
How do you like
Yeah.
my German Shepherd costume?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's a bad joke. My dad's joking. He's dressed up as the dog.
I kind of like that one. I did the pirate Chardonnay joke, so I think we're on the same.
He's only 2 sips in. Wait until later tonight.
All right, so I threw a QR code up there, which should take you to the Beat the Somm homepage. Who would have known QR codes would still be a thing 10 years later? Thanks, COVID.
We also have the website there if you want to type that in instead of using the QR code.
But the game code is JQUC. You just put in your email and then your username. And then once you're all in, I'll start the round and you can start making your guesses of grape country and Old World or New World. And like Jess was saying, it will narrow it down.
Yeah, the app will help you out. So, if depending on the grape you pick, it'll narrow it down to the only countries that are, that grape can be from. So it helps you out a little bit. We're gonna let you guys get logged in. We're about to start the round. So what you're doing essentially, hopefully by now you have a guess. So, or if you don't, just go ahead and, make your best educated guess. I think it's best to go with your initial thought. I feel like typically when I go with the things I thought it was first, typically it's like I'm more often than not.
Now
the way to go.
This is interesting though, because the Somms will say no, follow the deductive method. But I kind of like her. I like her method too.
But so anyway, so hopefully you kind of have an idea of which grape you think it is, which country. And so we're using the app to make your guess and keep score essentially. So we're gonna start the round. You're gonna pick what you think it is, and then we're gonna end. Once everyone logs it, we'll end the round, and then we'll start keeping score. And hopefully no one's cheating.
Would someone put in the chat or let us know if we're not in? I want to make sure everyone's in.
Oh yeah, so hopefully everyone is good to go.
We have one more just hitting log in right now.
Okay, sure.
We're good.
Everyone else good?
Send something in the chat if anyone needs a minute. We just don't want to start it if not everyone is ready to go.
Okay, we're gonna give you guys 10 more seconds. I think I could actually start it, but
we'll wait. We'll wait a second. This is and then going forward, we won't have to. Once you guys are logged in, we're good to go. Put some music on.
Oops, that's not where it's supposed to go. Hold on one second here. Let me change this to Connor's MacBook.
We get some. There we go.
Okay, we ready to go? Go ahead and hit stir around. Okay, check your phones. You should be able to log your guesses now.
They're all together, ookie, the Addams Family. Their house is a museum. When people come to see them, they really are a scream. The Addams Family. Neat. Sweet. Petite.
And you can, with the list of grapes, you can scroll. So it'll only show you like maybe 5 or 6. Scroll down. There's others at the bottom. And if you end up hitting back, if you want to like review your answers, you will have to reselect. So just keep that in mind. But
Hey, I got a question.
Sure.
So I watched that documentary, Somm,
Yeah.
and I thought that when they did the whole tasting, the first thing they determined was old world or new world. And then from there went from like wide to more narrow guess. But like this process, it was like reverse. I picked the grape. So then once I picked the grape, I just like clicked the country, and then old world, new world was the last thing I selected.
Yeah, those songs are just all wrong, those master songs. No, I'm kidding. No, those guys are fantastic. What we kind of cherry picked from their grid, and also the WSET, which is the Wine and Spirits Education Trust. It's a British company, and we tried to steal the most approachable bits from it, and to put it into where you could try to figure out a wine in one night. So their methods probably are better than ours probably, but theirs is a lot more intense in that, it takes probably a lot of practice to get to that Somm grid is, I'll pull it up for you guys later. Have you ever seen the Somm grid? It's like, it looks, there's just a lot that you go through. But but in general, yeah. So they would start old world. Yeah, that's a good way to start it though, to say, do you think it's fruit forward or do you think it's more minerality or what?
I think so. For the app, I think what we've determined is, it's a lot of information that we're throwing at you guys, and we'll play with people, and it's easy to kind of confuse the old and new world. We have the O's and the N's on here, but sometimes you'll have someone who mixes them up. So
there's a Somm grid. Ollie has it.
So we figured it'd be best to start with the grape, and then that way it kind of helps everyone out by eliminating, and that way, you're not mixing up, considering New Zealand and old world or that sort of thing. We're just trying to maybe streamline it a little bit on our end. If that makes sense.
Yeah. It just felt backwards to me because like the grape that I picked only had one answer for the next 2 questions. So then it was like, versus like if I'd said, I think it's whatever, New World, that would have got me only down half of the world, right? It still could have been California, Argentina, I don't know, Indiana, wherever else, versus like, the other way.
Yeah. That's a good point. Maybe we should change the game.
Oh no, I was just surprised because in Somm I felt like that was the first thing they did is they went old world, new world, whatever country, they'd go, okay, old world, okay, it's Italy, okay, it's northern Italy, okay, it's this region, and they would go like kind of a funnel. So I was just surprised this was flipped.
So
I'm a non-expert, by the way.
We're just trying to flip the script, I guess that's the spin team. We'll just call it that. No, I think it's a great point, and there's a lot of different ways to get there. I think we had a reason to switch it, but now I can't remember.
I think it's to streamline the guessing to make it a little easier.
It's funny you say that because that used to be on the original the first 3 board games. We would, I know why we did do it this way. Now I remember. Your first choice was old or new on the map, and you'd have to make a choice. But the problem was you would be either, if you were wrong, you were stuck in the old world or the new world. So this was all kind of the product of a board game.
Got it.
Now I'm remembering. And so now with our current board game, it's more of a call. It follows this key.
Yep.
And so, you could do it either way. But maybe that's a better way to start with old or new. That's how we originally had done it, but it doesn't bode well for a board game, we don't think.
No, gotcha. Okay, cool. I was just curious. Thank you.
That's a great question.
All right, so there's looks like everyone's logged. There's one person who is going to be a mystery. No,
Yes.
no name.
Nameless.
But it looks like everyone
And Pirate Curry is in. We see.
looks like they're good because they did double. So yeah.
All right.
Looks like everyone's logged their guesses. So we're going to end the round and take a look at your phones. You're going to see how many points you got.
In 3, a 2, a 1. A 1.
There we go.
Okay. How'd we do?
We got a couple perfect scores from Lindsay and Beth. You guys are on top.
But Monica is not far behind. Where's Monica? Oh, with David Moore's computer. Is that Monica?
I don't know if you can see everybody.
All right. Well done.
Good job, you guys.
Okay. So here's what I would love to.
We're here.
Nice, nice. So, oh yeah, we forgot to do the big reveal. And would anyone like to pull their wine out? We could do it with ours too. Yes. So this is a Bordeaux Blanc, which means it is a Sauvignon Blanc from France. So would anybody, Lindsay or Beth or Monica or G Money, would any of y'all want to talk about what got you there? And I would love.
New Zealand, so then it only gave me New World, so I only got.
Oh, cool! But you thought it was Sauvignon Blanc, right?
Yeah. You can say it's Catholic. Are you speaking?
All right. So yes, it's Sauvignon Blanc from France. And who here likes this wine? Did you guys like? And Sauvignon Blanc can be a little. Yeah. Okay. So it's crisp. It's refreshing. Did we get that? It's usually moderate plus or high acidity. So pretty mouth-watering. I don't know what that was. It's Steve McGovern's. Was that a hand puppet? Are we bringing hand puppets this early into the game? I like it. That's usually the fourth wine or so. But yeah, I really enjoy this wine. So Sauvignon Blanc tends to be really aromatically intense. It'll have like a lot of tropical or citrus notes. The difference between, let's say, New Zealand will come out at you with a lot of tropical notes, fruit flavors, grapefruit, et cetera, et cetera. California, grassy plus grapefruit and whatnot. And French Sauvignon Blanc and Bordeaux Blanc can be, sometimes they use a little bit of oak, so it's maybe a little rounder feel compared to others.
I feel like it has like a little toastiness to it, for sure. And so like for France, so this is from France. So you're typically going to see Sauvignon Blanc grown in Loire Valley, which is northern France. So if you've heard of Sancerre, that's going to be from Loire, that's Sauvignon Blanc. And then Bordeaux, which I know Bordeaux is more known for its red wines. Bordeaux is like a little bit like southwest France, but there's an area that specializes in Sauvignon Blanc within Bordeaux. So I like that they have the actual like grape Sauvignon Blanc. Sometimes wines from Old World or Europe just put the region, and it can be a little confusing. But if you see Bordeaux Blanc, you'll know. If you ever see that on a wine list or see that on a wine label, you'll know that it is it's the majority of the wine is going to be Sauvignon Blanc.
Maybe a little bit of Semillon.
Sometimes they add a little bit of a blending grape in there, but.
So just to be a contrarian, this is Alf. Seems like this has more hot climate fruit than your traditional Bordeaux Blanc. This reads more like a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, and I hate being wrong, and that's what I guessed. There's pyrazine, which is that cat pee essence, which typically doesn't come from cooler climate Sauvignon Blancs, but I'm just a humble man from Virginia.
Yeah, and this has the lower ABV at 13. But I know what you're saying. This is a ripe Sauvignon Blanc for France, and I don't know. There's something about it though, and I'll tell you. there's something about French Sauvignon Blanc that has or Bordeaux Blanc that has like a touch of armpit that I think this has a tiny bit of. But I don't know. So I didn't blind these, so I'm not sure where I would have been, but I can see for sure thinking New World because it's very, it's very fruit forward. Do we like it? What do we think? Jazz hands, if we like it. Spirit fingers if we don't. Okay.
Oh, it's so cute.
Any other thoughts on this wine before we go to, or any questions or anything?
But yeah, with Steve's group, that was a good observation. And again, like to me, it's very Sauvignon Blanc-esque. So I think it's a true Sauvignon Blanc, but it does get tough when you're trying to determine new and old world, and like it does have a lot of fruit. I get a lot of grapefruit. But I do see that in Sancerre sometimes too. It's just, totally kind of about the will of the winemaker.
Now in the Somm exam, they'll probably give you Sancerre because it's got the minerality up front and flintiness or whatever, so that it's French. Whereas Bordeaux Blanc, they might give you a little more oak, and that gets you, okay, I think this is Sauvignon Blanc, but there's a little bit of oak presence. But I'm a fan of this wine.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, are you guys ready to move on to wine number 2? Let's do it. Go ahead and pour. And remember, that one's the red/burgundy.
So we'll do a little refresher. So wine number 2, just so we know everyone's maybe a little out of order. It's going to be this top here, this like burgundy red top is wine number 2.
I'm throwing Montel on. That's my pouring music. Deal with it. I will. So do you guys want me to go through the grid again, or do we just want to get to the grape emoji and go through it?
I think we can just do emoji, and then if you guys have any questions.
Yeah. Just a quick reminder. First, we'll go straw yellow gold. Then we're going to look for acidity again, which is the mouth watering underneath your tongue. Aromatic intensity is how much did these fruit aromas jump out at you, right? We would call it pronounced if they jump out and slap you. If they're a little more subtle, we call it neutral. New World or Old World, we were talking about that before. Oh, that thing just came out. That's why I was closing. Can you put the power in back here? And then the grape emoji. Thank you.
We'll get the round started in just a sec. We figured maybe you guys need a second to evaluate, but we'll start this next round on your phones in just a second. Or computer.
I guess I can go ahead and start it.
Yeah, all right, we're gonna go ahead and start we'll give you guys time to log your guesses, but we'll go ahead and start the second round. There might be some people who are pretty confident.
No central doesn't like nobody.
We'll have to, at the end, we'll have to grab our dog and put her in her costume that she absolutely hates.
Oh, she is not a fan of this lobster outfit we've got her in. This monstrosity. It's also really tight, and as a dog dad, I don't appreciate it because I don't know, other dogs sneaking a peek. She's a puppy. All right, I'll stop. Lindsay asks, David, that dog is adorable. What kind is she or he?
Oh, you're muted.
I know.
Yeah,
sorry.
Sorry, I just wasn't sure.
Unmuting.
Yeah, you have you on our other TV, so the mouse is messed up.
She's
not-
an Australian Shepherd.
Yeah.
Super
And
cute.
they're all Jurassic Park. I don't know if we covered that earlier, but
Yeah, we're trying to be.
Oh, I see. I love it.
Oh, yeah,
that's
there
why
you go.
she's a dinosaur.
She's the dinosaur. We'll put you back on Wendy. I'm sure that's
Yeah,
our dog.
Our
You're
dog
gonna see
is
her.
Wendy.
She's a
Hi,
dinosaur.
Wendy. Cute.
Yeah, sorry, she's not an Australian Shepherd. She's a Brontosaurus.
She's a stegosaurus.
A Stegosaurus.
Can we speak in Land Before Time terms? What was Stegosaurus?
Littlefoot. Oh, what?
No, Littlefoot
what
was a brontosaurus.
Was it like what was her name?
So
There was a stegosaurus.
Sarah was the.
Sarah. Wasn't she a Stegosaurus? No, she was a Triceratops.
Yeah.
Was Sarah a triceratops?
No.
No.
I don't know.
No, she was a Triceratops. I thought there was a Stegosaurus in that. An extra 5 points to figure if whoever figures out the Stegosaurus from Land Before Time.
Yeah.
Spike, you can't get points. You know that, right? Okay.
Okay.
Guesses are coming through.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a minute. All right, cool. We got half of everybody has their guesses logged.
Oh yeah, so when someone said my app says my round will start soon. Every once in a while that'll happen. Just hit refresh. Make sure though, don't hit back. It'll say do you want to leave the game, and then you can try to get back in, but and it might, but sometimes it doesn't get you back in, right?
Everyone logged in or got their guesses logged.
I hope you guys like my Jock Jams playlist here. Timeless, really. Okay, let's call it I'm gonna put on the Jeopardy music. Let's call it like a 1 minute warning. Let's see here.
The Stegosaurus in Land Before Time was named Spike.
Oh, well done. So we're giving you 5 Sommify bucks. Or points, either one.
What does that equate to?
1/100th of a penny, I think is what it is. Okay, 1 second here. At the end, of this.
Got just. All right, I think we're good, y'all. Hold on.
With that nameless person.
Just doing it all.
We're from Atlanta, if you can't tell.
Go Braves.
Go Braves. Okay, I think everyone's in.
Okay, cool.
Let's do it. Oh, and I need my reveal music. Sorry. Where'd it go? All right, we're just gonna do it.
All right, we're
Hand
back.
round, ready? Okay. Would someone do us the? Oh, here it is. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, would someone pull the bottle out for us? Or Jess, would you show us the bottle? She's trying.
Well, I don't know if you want something else too. All right, we have.
Oh yes, thank you, Steve's crew. It's actually so it's Robert Young Estate, and this is their side project, Red Winery Road. So it's Alexander Valley in Sonoma County, right next to Napa, Chardonnay. How'd we all do? Looking pretty good. We have a couple people undefeated still.
Yeah, Lindsay and Beth, good job. And then we have about 5, 6 people tied for second.
Yeah.
Very good.
So Lindsay and Beth are still undefeated. Kelly and Ian and Ashley and Carly and Steve are all tied for second place.
And then Mike.
And Monica and more, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, be curious though.
You used to.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, we used to live in San Francisco and I completely missed that one. I feel really terrible.
That's all good.
Oh,
What
well.
could I ask you, what did you think it was? If you'd like to share, and no worries in that.
Sure. I thought it was the one with the V. I always pronounce.
Oh, Viognier?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it. I've had that and the Gewürztraminer varietal myself, and I thought it was on the sweeter side, but I messed it up.
No worries. Yeah, I do that with Viognier, especially California Viognier, often because it can be kind of a bigger wine, and sometimes Chardonnay can feel that way too, you know. And did you guys get the kind of, when I first smelled this one, I thought like creme brulee or like kind of those toasty, but also like kind of not buttery, but like I thought it smelled like creme brulee. Did anyone else kind of catch those type of flavors? Just me.
I think I like sweet.
Yeah. And that can come from like also
in Northern Virginia, we're getting just oak juice.
It is to me it's pretty oaky, and I get a lot of vanilla on it too. When we were tasting it, when we were going through them before we started, like a lot of vanilla, which you get. I mean, you get from some of the oak aging, but that's what stood out to me. But that's a secondary flavor and aroma that you get from the aging process. That's not something you get from the grape itself.
So that's a great point. So for this one, you would smell it and go aromatically neutral, because what we're talking about with neutral versus pronounced would be fruit aromas, right? And this one smells, I mean, there's fruit on it. You get like yellow apple and some other like orchard fruits and plenty of other things. But the big things you get on the nose are stuff that happens in the winery, like oak or malolactic or whatever. Does that make sense to everybody? But I think
it makes sense, but there's a lack of fruit matching up with this high oak juice intensity, which could be barrel aging, it could be the yeast they used and their yeast choice, any number of things, but doesn't really have the fruit to hold up to the level of.
Yeah, I know you're saying there. It's 15 months in French oak, and it's 14.5, and so this would be kind of typical of like that new California style. Which now a lot of California winemakers are kind of going the other way, but it's kind of less body or less oak. But I think it's a good example of that.
Yeah, this is to me like a when people think of like California Chardonnay, this to me is kind of like embodies some of that, like the oakiness, like the creme brulee-esque. And then if you were to have a French style, like a style like from Burgundy, it would be a lot less oak. I mean, well, it depends on where it's coming from in Burgundy, but like it'll be a little bit more nuanced. To me, it's kind of jumps out a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be curious. You can hold up maybe like one or two. Like, which wine did you guys like better, the first or the second? I'd be curious. I feel like these two styles can be kind of. So
we got a 2 there. We got.
I see a 2.
Oh, there's one. I don't know what that is. It looks like one of those fire guys from not Princess Bride. What was the other one? Shoot, with the from the Labyrinth. That's what that. The little fire guys.
We just want to quickly explain that
Alf gave the 1.
Alf.
That's Alf.
Oh, okay.
It's not a dead animal.
Alf only has 4 fingers, by the way. Yes.
Okay. We're not.
So you guys are not like in a hunting lodge and just, hey, look what we got today. That's good. Okay, yeah. So very different stylistically, both those wines, right? Which is what blind tasting can kind of help you, discover. Those are different winemaking techniques, different places, very different wines. Are you guys ready to move on to red wines? Let's move on to wine number 3.
Let's make sure though, just again, to make sure everyone's on the same page.
So we are black top with some gold writing on it. Try not to look at the writing.
Try to look at the writing, but it's gonna have a little bit of like this like gold,
this crest or something,
little emblem at the top. So that's gonna be wine number 3.
Here's some Cocteau Twins for a little pouring music. So y'all go ahead and pour wine number 3. Do we have a spittoon? Yeah.
Get it poured, and then we're gonna walk you guys through how to blind taste red wine.
Okay. My phone just go. Oh, forgot to do that during the big reveal. Okay. Y'all ready for this? Let's talk about red wines and how to blind taste them. So pull out your wine key, if you would. And we still do sight, but we do it in a very different way. But we're still here at this 45-degree angle, and we're putting it over the wine key. And the way that we like to do separate red grapes at Sommify is whether they are thin-skinned or thick-skinned grapes, right? And so what we like to say is, if you have it tilted here at 45 degrees, can you read through it really well? Can you read the words thin or thick? Or you could also put your fingers out like 2 or 3 inches. How well can you see the texture of your fingers?
And I think, I mean, for me, it's like if you can, if you can see the outline, see, you might not be able if it's thin skin, you might not be able to read through it, but you can definitely see through, and then see some things through it. And then thick skinned, it's gonna be pretty dense.
Yeah, there's kind of a gray zone in the middle couple grapes, and there's things that can change it. But in general, if you can read through it really easily, it's probably a thin-skinned grape, which cuts this down in half, right? Versus the thick skin, which are the bottom half. Any questions on that? The good news is call number 2 is acidity, and it's exactly the same thing we've been doing with white wines. So you'll take a big sip, make sure you get it underneath your tongue, and the level of mouth watering should correlate to the level of acidity. So I'll give you a minute to do that. And I kind of want my Cocteau Twins back on. Where'd my phone go? Oh, there it is. Oops, hold on 1 second here. All right, we all have our acidity call, we think. Okay. Here's the other one that's different for red wines. Tannin. So take a big sip from your glass and ask yourself this. Does the wine dry the tongue or the roof of your mouth out a lot? What I like to call it is it's that feeling you get after the last sip of green tea. It dries your mouth out. That's like pure tannin. And so some wines, all red wines have a little bit of tannin at least. Some have a lot more than others. So some of the, like a brand new Napa Cab would have a lot of tannin. Nebbiolo, which is a thin-skinned grape, Barolo Barbaresco tends to have a good amount of tannin. So that's just another way of kind of narrowing grapes down. Does that make sense? Back to the Cocteau Twins. And then the last call we're very familiar with, New World versus Old World. So now you guys can do any questions.
Well, and then to reiterate with New World and Old World, like at least for me, for red wines, like, and this is again a generalization, but Old World reds tend to be a little bit, like, to me, a little bit higher acid. They'll have some fruit, but they'll have some other, like, they'll have some other like secondary things going on. Maybe it's some of that like earthiness, that sort of thing. And then New World, to me, like New World reds are a little bit like more in your face, a little bit more fruity, a little bit more kind of like stand out, like less nuance. So that's kind of, I mean, generalization, but that's typically how I kind of like try to pick with.
Gary, you just asked, the game code is JQUC. Let me put this in the chat. And put in your same email address, and hopefully it will, if you got kicked out, it'll put you right back in.
Hopefully you'll be good to go. If not, try to keep track of your score, and we'll include, we can factor you in the end.
Hey, Willie, can I ask a question?
Sure.
So we're debating between whether it's high tannins and high acidity or medium tannins or medium plus. What do you think, Willie?
Who was Alf asking? I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't know if we can comment on it. We know what the wine is.
No, not yet. They know.
No.
That's going on the highlight reel.
I'm from another fucking planet.
I'm a little afraid of Alf, I don't know.
I wonder what the wines are like on his home planet.
Walks away and mute.
I know.
Sorry.
Hopefully there are no cats on this Zoom chat. No. But if you want to, we can talk about tannins versus acid. I still get them mixed up some, but acid, mouth watering, that's the big tell, the physical tell. And tannin, I think I usually get on top of the tongue or the roof of the mouth or front of your. Some people get on the front of the teeth. Takes the varnish off your teeth.
And again, like it is hard. Like, we'll pull up the grape emoji.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Pull
Alf.
that up.
Does Alf? Do you have teeth? I forget. I feel like you do.
Oh my God, he's back. Like that's gonna be
Hey,
our
Willie.
experience tonight for Alf. Do you have
So really the question was between
Oh wait,
moderate
where did it go?
plus.
They can't see you.
You gotta take off the mask.
Steve.
Sorry. The question was more about, so moderate plus to high, we were debating the acidity of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how would you draw that distinction, moderate plus to high acidity?
Yeah, and so it's kind of about calibrating your palate, and this is once again all kind of subjective. When I think wine and I think really high acidity, I think New Zealand Sauv Blanc often, like a classic one, or I think some really cool climate Riesling, or it's just the really mouth-watering stuff. That's not a really great answer, because they'll Somms would say, like the grid, when you're going through that, you would say, or what they would say is, all right, Chenin Blanc is usually high acid, but oftentimes moderate plus. What is that? I mean, that's hard to, it's more like if you kind of get in the range and then you use your other clues, it'll get you to Chenin Blanc or Riesling or whatnot.
Get you a little closer. And then that's why too, that's part of the reason we wanted to do the emoji guide. So if you're kind of in between which acidity level or tannin level, if you're getting, I'm just going to use Gamay because it's the first grape there. Maybe you're getting some cherries, strawberry, maybe a little banana, and then that'll help you kind of further determine it. So we're gonna leave the emoji guide up for you guys. We're gonna start the third round on the phone.
Oh yeah, someone just asked. Linda asked, "What's the horse taste?"
For Tempranillo, if you look at Tempranillo, we have a little horse emoji on there.
That's supposed to be barnyard, and sometimes you get Brettanomyces. It's this bacteria in Europe. I put it in Tempranillo because I feel like I kind of get that sometimes, or really just dried fruit. I should have done that maybe more over a horse, but sometimes you get the barnyard kind of smell and feel, if that makes any sense. And it might not make sense, but people will kind of talk about that from time to time. Any other questions about this? Because so one of my big tells for Northern Rhone Syrah for me is like, it smells like a leather belt. So I threw that one on there.
Belt on there. I think there's
just throwing a little belt on there,
bacon, That's bacon right next to the belt.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones that are. Oh, and then Tempranillo, that's dill. That's
oh yeah.
That is that little plant. So I think those are the only really tough ones.
So let's go ahead and start this round. but keep asking the questions. And
Yeah.
I'll put some.
Dill, and I think what's
So dill, the reason we put that there is a big hallmark of American oak, and it's kind of an interesting story because of the embargo. Who was the communist dictator of Spain? I forget now, but there was no trade going on with France at the time for that 30-40 year period. So they were importing American oak. So classic Spanish Tempranillo Rioja has a lot of notes. Your classic, of course, they use French oak now, but you'll see a lot of American oak in classic styles.
Yeah, that's one wine for me, like Tempranillo from Rioja, aged American oak, often has a lot of like coconut and dill notes to it. So that's like typically, I don't know, sometimes that's like kind of like how I know it's Tempranillo, like on switch dill.
Jess always gets Tempranillo. She's like, whoa, dill alert. That's what she says. Dill alert, just dill
Right.
with it.
So we started the third round. So if you guys want to log your guesses, if you have any other questions about our crazy emoji guide, type it in and we'll try to answer it for you. I'm liking this wine a lot though.
I love it. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Or do you love it? Those are the only two options. Is Steve frozen? What's going on? Might be frozen. If y'all are waiting for results and want to, I got a side question. What do you guys? What's a normal like Thursday night wine for you guys? What are you guys drinking?
You're like, what do you guys like to drink? You type it into the chat or unmute.
Pinot Noir.
You like Pinot?
Love it. Are you American Pinot Noir, California, Oregon, or do you like French or New Zealand? I got a lot of questions for you.
The room is screaming Oregon, so we're gonna go with Oregon.
I like Oregon a lot too.
Yeah.
Oregon French.
Okay, we got a lot of guesses in.
Almost everyone is locked. You guys.
Cap Sauv Petit Verdot. Okay, cool.
Oh, nice. Those are big.
Yeah.
Actually, I was showing wines today from Gamba winery out of Sonoma. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but I was showing a Petit Verdot from them, and it was really good. So maybe we put it again.
Okay, I think everyone's in.
I think we got one person.
Who we got?
There we go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think.
Hold on one second.
All right, cool. Everyone is logged. So we're about to. Are we doing this one again? All right.
We have to do the final countdown every time. Okay. Jess, will you pull out? Would someone else pull out the wine for us on 3, 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
Ooh.
Yes.
All right, so this is a
Sangiovese from Italy. So, and what you might recognize more than the grape is Chianti, the region. If you guys ever had Chianti, that's the great grape of Chianti is Sangiovese. And like we were saying, the annoying thing about Europe is they will, like champagne or other, they'll name a wine by the region, not by the grape, right?
So this is I'm not seeing Chianti on here. It's definitely from Tuscany. So like most Sangiovese is from Tuscany in Italy. And then yeah, if you see Chianti or Chianti Classico on the label, that's the more specific area within Tuscany where Sangiovese can be grown, just more like a quality determinant. But there's a lot of awesome Sangiovese grown all around Italy.
So, question for you guys: what did y'all think this was? If you didn't get it, because I think this one was divisive.
If you're asking if we liked it, I did not, but everyone else in the room here did.
I mean, what did
Did
I'm
anyone-
curious what you didn't like about it, because it's always like, that's why, I mean, everyone has an opinion about what they dislike and like.
Well, I also thought it was a Malbec, and I also don't like Malbec, so
Okay.
I was way off.
Oh, we got another question. What's next to the cherry in the emoji chart? Is that bok choy? Where did that go? Oh, next and Sangiovese.
Fennel.
Fennel.
Fennel, yeah.
It does look like.
Which I did not taste any fennel in there.
That was what
That's
threw us
why
off.
we were thrown off because we felt like there was a lot of strawberry.
Yeah. When I tried this earlier, like an hour or two ago, I was like, this tastes like a Pinot Noir to me. It's kind of more fruity.
Yeah, totally.
It's fruitier than a classic Chianti, which will sometimes have like dried fruits.
Yeah.
But they also have like a lot of red fruits. So I like breaking things down into red fruits, black fruits, blue fruits, you know? And
Right.
so Sangiovese usually has a lot of red fruits, but this felt riper than Chianti.
Yeah. The color was even different a little bit.
Yeah.
The what did?
The color was a little different than what I usually expect from a Sangiovese grape.
Yeah, for sure. I do like this wine a lot.
And I do think, I
I
mean,
was surprised that it was thin. It looked very thick to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is maybe one that's kind of on the, actually, so this is what the Sommify's definition, at least in my glass, would be closer to thin or maybe the middle. Because when you think, like, if you think of like a, let's say like a jet black, like Shiraz from Australia would be the other
Malbec
end.
too. Malbec can be, like, if you get a really like deep Malbec, it can be like really dark and inky and like, you know, almost like purple and can't see through it. So this is kind of on the, like, you know, you can't necessarily read through it, but you definitely kind of see the outline of your fingers, so it's not super, you know.
The other annoying thing is they can macerate longer than normal, which can draw out more color and make things, you know, darker than classic. Once again, hard to gamify a wine, but it's kind of cool though. I at least, you know, enjoy gamifying it.
Well, and I feel like there were a lot of like, I got a lot of red fruit, and I did, and like, I know you mentioned Pinot Noir, which both Pinot and Sangiovese have a lot of acid, but I was definitely getting more tannins on this than you would with like a Pinot. I was getting more of that like mouth drying sensation, but I'm a big fan of Italian red wine, so I really like this. but yeah, give it thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. All right, cool.
There's that one thumbs down.
You're some person, yeah. We see you.
We're going to talk to Familia Castellani.
Well, now that I know that emoji's fennel, I also dislike fennel, so that all tracks.
There you go. You're still on brand. I like it. Okay, any other thoughts or questions on this one before we move to wine number 4? Then, oh, sorry, I moved back to an emoji thing, so let me move forward here. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the calls again, unless you guys need me to. So let's just start. Everyone, let's get some pour music going. Yeah, I'll put it back on the emoji thing. So everyone start pouring wine number 4. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. King will be right back.
All right, Well, I'm gonna go back. Where the promotion guide is on here. Get you guys. All right, cool. So we'll go back to that. Yes, the Stranger Things. Yes. I actually need to. I've not watched all the seasons. I need to get
We'll
on
do
that.
it.
Well, cool. All right. Well, same goes for the second, or I guess, the last wine that you guys are pouring. So, site, acidity, tannin. Go ahead and get yourself a glass, and then we'll start this next round. And then, yeah, and then at the end, if anyone wants to hang on, talk for a little bit. We're also like, this is the first time we've done this kind of event with wines still sold out. So at the end, any feedback, obviously the switching up of the wines, we'll work on that for next time, but any feedback, we'd love to hear it. We're doing another one of these in a week or two, and then we'll
With the same wines.
With the same wines. I mean, but then we're gonna try to do different kits every couple months. I think they're talking about doing an all red kit.
Yeah, I think actually it'll be the December, January kit, which will go on sale like late November. We'll have 2 events for that, and I think we'll do all reds, just because that's the 1-2 month period you can kind of get away with it, with the cool weather.
And I think we were talking about including more than just one key. We were thinking, if you're playing as a couple, you could share one, but I see a lot of you guys are playing with groups of people, so I feel like having more than just one of these to reference would be good. So, but anyway, all right, we're gonna start round number 4. I haven't started yet.
All right, let's go ahead and hit. Okay, round 4 is open. If y'all want to throw your feedback in the chat too, that's cool too. I'll be right back. I'll just pour some of this in there. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Mike's already got his guess in. He's like, I know this one. So does Anna and Lorraine and FJA. Next to Shiraz. Oh yeah, that's a blackberry. What's the next to the berries? Oh, sorry. That's black pepper, actually, like peppercorn. And that's a great question. That's a hallmark. So all of Syrah or Shiraz will give you some degree of this. It's the same grape grown in France. We call it Syrah or California, and then in Australia we call it Shiraz. Same grape. You get more of this black pepper type of note in cooler climates. So compared to Australia or some California. So you get some of the black peppercorn in northern Rhone where they grow Syrah in France. You also get it in Shiraz too, but it's usually more associated with France. Does that answer that? Contest. I do like that pirate hat. mess with it. And then it'll show the number.
Can you show the chart about the tannins again?
Oh, sure. Remind me to put these grape emojis. So there you go. And just a reminder, it's kind of the mouth drying that you get. It's like the last sip of tea, or pecans and walnuts have a lot of tannin in it, so it kind of it dries your mouth out. Okay, we got about 2/3 of the people in.
Half to 2/3.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood.
How are we feeling about this one? Do we like it?
To terrorize your neighborhood.
Okay.
All right, all right.
And whosoever shall
Ooh, 2 thumbs up
without the
from Captain Hook.
getting down. Must stand and face the hounds.
1 hook up.
And rot inside a corpse's shell.
Okay, still waiting on answers from, or guesses from Ian, Steve, Kelly, Zelinda, Ali.
Lots on the line here.
A lot. Stakes could not be bigger.
The foulest stench is in the air. The funk of 40,000 years. And grisly ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver. For no
Okay, we're getting close.
Oh.
Hey, we'll do our last
We
little.
need the emoji for that.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Give me a minute.
You go left, yeah.
Sorry, I just put more than one of these slides. There we go.
Let's see here, hold on. Oh, we'll do the Price is Right music.
Come on.
I think it's people in a guessing mood. All right, almost everyone's in. Waiting on 2 people. Oh, no, just 1. Oh, whoops. At the end of this song will be the end of the round. Sorry, I picked a 9-minute Price is Right song, I feel like. Is Ali still with us? Or Allie? Ali McBeal? I don't know. Okay, cool. Did you put it in? So give me a thumbs up. Oh, she's having some. Okay, well, here comes the reveal music, so this works out. Did she hit refresh? Hit refresh on that bad boy. Alf says, just go. Okay. Oh, she's got it in. Okay, we're good.
Cool.
We're good.
All
We're
right.
good. All right, y'all ready?
Guys.
Can I get everyone to reveal their bag number 4 right now as I hit end round? Do it. Oh, snap! Yeah. All right, yes, that is a Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon. Who guessed it? Who guessed it? Did anyone guess it? What did we think it was?
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what you guys guessed.
Oh, someone on Rachel's team pulled out the Bordeaux Blanc that they were using as wine number 4. I hope that wasn't. Okay, cool. So what I'm about to do here, if you will check your phones, is I'm about to end the game. And it'll tally all the first, second, and third places.
Okay.
All right, y'all ready? Let's do it. Here comes the final countdown. Congratulations to, I don't know if it changed. I don't know if it's, I think it showed it on your phones, but to Beth, Lindsay, and Mike Falcone that tied for first place. Well done, you guys. And then not too far behind, Tom, Ian, and actually, you know what? I'm going to show everyone a version of this. Kind of like move it up a little bit.
We think the scoring were.
Is that everyone with the 150s?
I'd be curious, did anyone, like, you can put it in the chat or like raise your hand. Did anyone get this correct? Did anyone call this as Napa or as California cab? No, it's okay.
Okay, well, here's the deal. I want to talk about this wine for a second. And then we gotta announce a winner for the best costume. Can we, would anyone like to go off mute and chat about this for a second? Did we think it was cab? What did we think it was instead of that? Did we like it? Did we not like it? There's no wrong answers.
I'm a big cab drinker, and it didn't feel as intense as what I'm used to.
Right. I gotcha. So,
Joey's saying like, so we thought it was.
so not quite as big is that what you mean, or?
Oh yeah. So
didn't fill the jaws as much as a lot of the cabs I drink.
Gotcha. Okay. Was everyone on the same page for thick skin for this one?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we actually thought, or I thought it was more acidic.
We thought
than
it
a
was more,
cab.
yeah, acidic. The acidity factor was what led us towards the Shiraz side. We did sense the fruit, and so that's what made us choose the New World. And we were thinking like Australia Shiraz, because we felt like it was more maybe moderate plus in the acidity. And maybe it didn't quite taste like a classic California cab to us, but you know, but it makes sense. It definitely, the tannins were high. We got that for sure.
I love it. And yeah, I mix those two up a lot, and I want to know what Darth feels about all this in their best Darth voice. Sorry, you don't have to do that. Oh, it's still muted.
You can
Do it.
Go.
That was a great answer.
That was good.
That was a
Like,
great
the
answer.
dog did not like that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say we've been planning that for a while, but we may have been planning that.
It made it all worthwhile,
Very nice, I
right?
like it.
Steve and your crew, I want to hear what y'all thought about this one, or and by the way, and then yeah, let's talk about this wine first.
What do you think?
So
I thought it had a lot of leathery thing happening, so that's why
Leathery
I thought
thing?
it was a Syrah in the
Right.
end. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. When I tasted it, it was kind of earthy, and
Yeah.
and that's what it says on the back. The only thing I could think of on the back of the bottle, it says, "If you're a vine, there's simply no getting away from the dirt you're rooted in." So like, I wonder if that's kind of their thing. It's like, they're really like
Way to put it out
terroir.
there, guys.
Well, and the fact terroir, like like of the earth and, all of that. So that could be part of, because you guys also, Rachel's group mentioned Syrah, Shiraz as well. So
Yeah.
But then I did get the green pepper, which I guess put it in the cab.
Well, more Cab Franc, but so it's lean for a Napa Cab Sauv, so which is nice. It has more of a balance. It's not a fruit bomb, so there's a nice balance of alcohol acidity. So that threw me completely off because I was expecting like 14.5% and a huge jam bomb, where a Cabernet Sauvignon. So
It's
from
almost like it's
Napa,
an old one.
old world style.
No, I'm just saying like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that because that's got a lot going on. So a couple people have to jump off, it looks like, and thank you guys so much for joining. We'd also love if y'all have any feedback. If anyone wants to, thank you, Zelinda. Yeah, if y'all have any feedback, we would love to hear it because we're still kind of new to this. We've done several of these, I guess, but we want to keep doing these, and WTSO is a great partner, and they've got such a good portfolio of wines that we want to make it like a bi-monthly thing, and a kind of game night that we would love to hang out with you guys again.
Well, it's cool for us because typically, like, if we've been doing some of these like with our neighborhood, and like we'll deliver bottles to friends like personally. So it's really cool that we can like do this, but have the bottles delivered directly, and so everyone has the same. Everyone can be playing from like all across the US, but everyone has the same wines. You didn't have to go to the store looking for that, or like.
Yeah, and that said, we're not defensive. Like, tell us what. Get your feedback's really important because it's kind of a work in progress. So we want to make this as awesome as it could be because we have a lot of fun with it. But we want, we're open to everything, to any feedback.
Someone just said they don't like your costume.
Oh, they said the King's costume is stupid. Where do you get off? Oh, wow. A lot happened.
We missed, someone mentioned about a winemaker. If you scroll up.
Oh, do we miss something?
Beth is the winemaker at Hawk Haven Winery.
Oh, no way.
Where is Beth? Who's Beth?
Beth, identify yourself. Oh, no way. Okay, cool.
Very cool.
Yes.
Hawk Haven. All right, I'm gonna write this down.
I love it. And by the way, so right now we do need to we need to declare a winner for the costume contest. And I see Alpha's in full. And then we've got Darth over there with, but hatless Darth. He's now just a count, I feel like
Darth did
like an Eastern European count, I feel like, with his stylish cape.
Oh wow, watch, we got
Oh no, but then we also have Jurassic Park.
There's too many cute dogs.
And then Lindsay, look, whoa, is that a bat? No, is that a bat girl? What is going on here? All right, here's the deal, because you guys are also our first group, and I'm going to go off script for a second. So Lindsay's group, so one person from Lindsay's group, one person from Joy, one person from Steve, and one person from David's group. You all get a game. We're just going to send y'all one.
Cool.
Yay!
And so one of y'all from each group emailed info@sommify.com.
Yeah, will you so I would say type your addresses into the chat, but that could be weird.
No, don't do that. Just
if you guys want to, if one person wants to email info@sommify, or you can also do Jessica@sommify.
Now if we get 12 emails, we know one of y'all is up to no good.
But yeah, reach out to us with an address for each group, and we'll get a game in the mail tomorrow for you guys. And I'd love to get your feedback on the board game too. The board game is a lot of fun. So the board game is essentially similar format. You're playing in person with your friends, and everyone brings a bottle from this list, from this grid. We have a list in the instructions. And so when it's your turn, you know what the wine is. So say you brought a Napa Cab, you keep it concealed, you pour it for everyone. And then you, in a board game style, you move along the board, and we have like wild cards with like little wine facts. So it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm excited for you guys to be able to play it.
All right, one last request is if you have a glass still, let's raise it.
I like that.
And we're gonna do a little screenshot here because I'm all about that screenshot.
Yeah, I got my.
Hold on, actually, I'm gonna move this for a second so I can see the top three because this is for the gram. Ooh, but I don't want them to see that. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Give me 2 seconds. Y'all are about. We have. I'm not trying to intimidate anyone, but we have over 1,300 followers. So you're about to be blown up to the Instaverse. Okay.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram, Sommify, if you guys want some hilarious Halloween wine puns.
All right, everyone. Cheers on 3. 1, 2, 3. Cheers. And thank you guys so much again for joining us. We had so much fun. Hope you did too. And yeah, we will hopefully see you guys in another one of these soon.
Yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate everyone dressing up and coming out. And we had a lot of fun. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. We had a great time. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab Jan.
Oh yeah. Go. Put our lobster outfit on.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
There you go.
Thank you. That was fun.
Thanks, that was amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, guys.
Thanks for participating too and giving us your your tasting notes and everything. That's great.
Even though they were all wrong. No, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
This is great.
Uh-oh, late edition here. We got a late edition.
Late edition.
That's Juniper because we're loved in.
Our dog's quarantined in.
I don't know how she slept the whole time, but there she is.
Good job.
Yeah, good girl.
All right.
Hi guys, thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks for all the
Thanks.
thanks for
Thank you.
participating. Really
Yeah. Our pleasure. Have fun.
Thanks, Al. Hope to see you guys soon. I want to take me home.